In one of my videos, I have raised this topic about what if women have ruled the world, what if women take over? Would it be a better humanity? Like when women when we change the gender dynamic of the power holder, the entire structure changes. The entire political, religious, social structure changes into what they could have had made, what women could have had made. What we are living in right now is an entirely man-made society. We see all the wrongdoings. We see exploitation, we see wars, we see sexual assaults of women, we see child rapes, we see cannibalism, we see religiously motivated battles, terrorism, etc. In earlier questions, because I've been thinking about this particular issue for some time, since the Epstein files have been in the uh, social media. Not only Epstein files, but prior to that also, I have on the YouTube, I've seen so many cases where men have committed sexual assaults, and it is not to be seen on the news only. It is a very evident thing that men usually rape men rape every possible thing. Men rape children, they rape animals, they rape women. And uh, you know there is a there is a similarity of thought in people who commit crime, commit such heinous crimes. I came up with two justifications. Men who have enormous amount of power, but about with power I mean financial power. They have political background, they are religiously supported, they have a strong community of powerful people. That is what I mean by resources. They have enormous amount of resources. And the other area of men that commit such heinous crimes are men who feel entitled, that they have been fed with the idea that they are the superior gender and they have the right to control women. And if they do something bad, if they abuse their power on other people, it was their right and it was the victim's fault. And so the victim got a punishment. In many cases, I would give you an example that men who rape uh, put the blame on women's clothing, their dressing sense, or their outgoing nature, their extrovert nature. This happens with religious people, people who are more religious, for example, Christians, Hindus, and Muslims. They wish to put women in a certain manner. They wish women to wear certain type of clothes. They wish women to behave in a certain manner, and to eat in a certain manner, and to drink in a certain manner, and to socialize in a certain manner. So if those women are raped by such men, so these men are entitled with the idea that they had all the right and it was a fault on the women's end. So we come up with two conclusions. In at least my understanding, I would really appreciate your opinions as well. If you could drop in the comment section. So men with power, the resources, and men who feel entitled, even if they don't have any financial backup or social strength, etc. But they have been convinced into this idea of feeling entitled and powerful over women. and that they believe to their core existence that man is the superior gender, so they abuse their power on women. Now in both the cases, I did not say that this mindset of exploitation of the other gender comes from the gender dynamic only. By this I mean that if the power dynamic would have been in the hands of women, would it be a different world, or would the amount of suffering, would the amount of exploitation be the same but in a different way? Earlier I have raised question about if women rule the world. I thought earlier, it crossed my mind that it could be a better place, it could be a peaceful and loving place on the earth if women ruled the world and men did not, if women had more power. But somehow many things clicked through my mind, and uh, I only know, I have seen, I have consumed researches, I have consumed news, etc. And I have seen this dynamic as well, that the only difference between these two genders is the physical strength. The only notable difference that has created this hierarchical structure, that has created this superiority and inferiority complex. It is only the physical strength difference. And this physical, the difference in their physical strength is the only reason that men had taken over from the beginning of humanity. And now if let's assume that if women had the upper hand in their physical strength, if they were comparatively more strong than men, in that case I am pretty sure that they would have taken over the world. And now we come to the question, if women have taken over, if they were physically more stronger, because that is the only thing that is different among these two genders, and that would have be the only reason that women could take over, if they were more powerful physically, or else they would not. So physical strength is the key here. Now we assume that women are ruling the world. But I ask you, I ask myself, I ask the entire society and people who question this gender dynamic, I ask them, have they observed and consumed studies, researches, or news about this evil nature of human being? That human being, irrespective of gender, is capable of committing enormous amount of heinous crimes. I have seen news, I have seen so many cases, I have read those articles where women have been the predators, when women have raped children, when women have sexually assaulted, women have performed cannibalism, women have, been terrorists. And by this, we can make sure that the capacity of doing good and doing bad is the same in the human brain, irrespective of their gender, because the brain of any human being, be it a female brain or a male brain, it is the same structure. There is no difference in the brain, because brain is the one thing that creates all this imagination, this thinking, this rationality, this desire to, you know, be evil or be good. It is the brain only, and the brain is not different in human beings. It has the same structure. So it's so at the end is it's just the physical strength. And if women had that physical strength, women also had the power to cannibalize, to rape, to exploit, to torture. Apart from physical strength, there is another difference between these two genders: their reproductive systems. But the woman has eggs, the man has sperm, and in this case, none of them is superior and none of them is inferior, because both are equally important in the process of reproduction. Without the indulgence of the other gender, there is no possibility of reproduction. So the reproduction is totally dependent on each other's indulgence, and so there is no superiority. So by the far calculation, the most precise justification that could come up to my mind was the difference between the physical strength of these two genders. Not even the thinking process. I believe that if the power dynamic would have been in favor of women due to their physical superiority, they could have done the same amount of crime. It could have been different. The social structure could have been different. The political structure could have been different. The religious structure could have been different, you know. But the ability to be evil or to be good would have been the same. The only difference is that they would have been able to exercise it. Why are women good in these times? Because they have been oppressed and they have not been given the chance to exercise their evil power. I assume that if the power dynamic would change and exchange between genders, it will just be the opposite of what is happening right now. The women would take over, the women would exploit, and the men would be the good gender, because they do not have physical power. Because physical strength is the only thing that makes you do something and stops you from doing something. I think I was able to make sense, because evil and good exists in the human brain structure irrespective of their gender. Now the question is only the ability to exercise it. The oppressed gender would be more involved in their own safety and dealing with their own struggles that have been put on them by the so-called superior gender. But the dynamics would entirely change if men would be suppressed by women. uh, Men would live under threat, and men would not do as much harm, because they would be totally busy in saving themselves. Their mind would be as busy as women's minds are right now, because women feel unsafe in men's presence, because they if men would want, they would exercise their power. If they would have the resources and the entitlement to do so. it's just a it's just a very, persistent thought that has you know been in my mind for a long time. And so I just wanted to share this with you. I would really love to hear your opinions, because this is a very sensitive topic. But is it important? For me, it is important because we look forward to expect and have a better society, better human society, better humanity today on the planet. My only reason to get away from the social structure was that the world is not going great right now. The society that the male gender has created is not going good right now. So when we question, the question arises, what could be better if women would have ruled the world? Could it be any different? So these questions come up to my mind, and many political figures, many social figures, many feminist figures are filled with rage against the male gender, which is justified. And some many say that it would have been a better world if women ruled the world, and if women were the ruling gender. Till the last week, I also thought the same, because I have seen women being more empathetic, compassionate, etc. But this deeper question about if what the power dynamics would change between these two genders, would that change the entire humanity and the entire biological and thinking process of both these genders? Because our thinking develops from what is going outside in the society and what is happening around us. It's not only the uh, origination of our biological structure, not only our brain, but an influence from external resources. This discussion could go far longer, but I would leave this here without any conclusion, because I do not have any conclusion. And it's a question, it's a very important question to be asked in this point of time, where humanity is standing right now. But because without questioning, we would not lead anywhere, we would not be able to live a happy life. So let's question and leave your opinion in the comment box down below. Subscribe to this channel if you found this thought provoking, or even if it raised some questions in your mind, or even if you feel that my analysis is incorrect or correct, or it is delusional. I would really love to know your opinions, and see you again. Bye.